This is our floating card. This is what it looks like. This is your mechanism that makes it float. You could cover that with paper, matching paper of some sort would look cute. I just left it white. Just trying to teach how the mechanism works. Now, yours is going to come like this, because this piece needed to come out with this largest die from the Memorable Blooms die set. So just in case you didn't have that, I wanted to go ahead and cut that for you. Then the rest of your pieces will look like mine. You'll have an inside piece, the mechanism piece, which is this one, and then a little piece of cake. You want to only put glue on the very outside of whatever you're putting down. And just a thin strip should hold it just fine. But if you get glue into the area where you're die cutting, it'll cost you. You have to use another piece of white to make your pop-up. If you do it this way, I'm going to center it on there, then run it through your die cut, making sure there's no lumps or anything there. Okay, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. And like I said, yours is done, but this is how you would do it if you didn't have the kit. All right, I'm going to center this. I think that's pretty well centered. It's a large die, so I'm going to hold that down so it doesn't move. And I find these little Post-it note, I forget what they call them. They're just these tiny little flaps. These are great. They don't leave any sticky on your paper. You can use them, about 10, 12 times before you have to replace them, before they lose their sticky. All right, let's pull this out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hopefully I didn't get glue in those areas. Yeah, if you do, it's not a big deal. You just need to cut another piece for your pop-up. But see, this way I don't have to. And I have this little piece to set aside if I want that for something, for another card. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, so now let's work on that mechanism. It's 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, scored at every 3/4 inches. So 3/4, 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. And I've already scored them for you. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish these so it's got a really good, strong, a good strong fold on there. You could use glue for something like this that's going to be manipulated possibly a lot. I like to go ahead and use something really strong like tear and tape, and that's what I'm going to be using. Except I may have covered it up here. No, I see it. Too much stuff on my workspace. Okay, so now we're just making that into a square. And I'm going to take some of this tear and tape and run it down the entire 5 1/4. Maybe I can't find the beginning of it. I'll find it. Hang on. Oh, that is funny. There it is. I was just about to give up. All right, I'm going to run this down the entire length of this. And since that was cut at kind of a beveled edge, I'm going to run it off the edge and trim that. Because I do want it over the entire piece. There Now you can burnish this down with your bone folder or with a good strong fingernail. I have pretty good luck with fingernails because if you don't burnish it well, when you do that, it doesn't release the tape. I fold this down and then fold this in half. And that will give me my mechanism. Okay, now again, you can either use glue. We're going to put this fold side down in here. So you can either use glue on those two sides or tear and tape. Glue, I think, will work for this well because you might need to wiggle it some to get it exactly where you want it. And I certainly cannot wiggle that tear and tape. Once it's down, it's down. It's done. All right, so I'm going to put this down where there's glue down on each side. I should not have put glue all the way in the center there. I'm going to see if I can wipe some off. Okay. All right, I've put it right in the center. Now I'm going to close that and see if I can get a little, well, actually, that's where that pop-up's going to go, so that's not a big deal. Okay, learn from my mistakes. This should have gone down first, but it's not completely, and that's another thing for using the glue. You do have a couple of minutes to fix any mistakes. And I'm going to stick this in there where it is centered. All right. You can feel that it is still good and sticky. All right, now I want to use my blueberry bushel. And instead of saying happy birthday, since we have this on the front with a piece of cake, we're going to say happy. Well, I didn't get that very good and straight, but I think it'll work. As my daddy used to say, do as I say, not as I do. So if that one's going that direction, maybe I make this one go this direction and this one go the other, so that it looks intentional that way. So if you want to do it before you put it in your card, just make sure you do it over towards the right and not in the center, because it'll be covered up by this. You probably should do it a little straighter than I did though, right? All right, so now this is going to go down on here. You could cover it with another different type of paper, like maybe the back of that. You know, that would look kind of cute. This one I just left white. It's totally up to you. I'm going to leave this one white. Let me shut that before I stick my hand in it. But just depending on what works for you. Now you can get it on here, but you don't want to get it any further than that, because this is your floating piece. There we go. I'll let that set for a minute while I use some dimensionals and let it, I'll put this block on it. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my little cake piece. And again, you could do extra. You could put, you know, some gold leaves coming up from this. Some of the gold weave thread that we have, that would look really cute coming out from behind that candle, like it was on fire. Right, just take these pieces off. Okay. Now I want to put this right in the center. All right. And now you can see, oh, I got it really close. All right, let's see. Once it's been opened a couple of times, there we go. It'll be fine. There we go. Happy Cake Day. Like I said, try and do yours a little straighter than I did. But that's how that mechanism works for anything that you're wanting to use it on. You just build a square box with a little tab for the extra to, be inside to hold that down. And then cut whatever size you want or whatever shape you want out. And then place your shape back in that opening. And it's really cute. So happy Cake Day.